everyone, and welcome to a very warm edition of Randy Prizzle's Ting with me, Randy Prizzle. I would ask how you're doing out there, but here in the UK, if you're watching this, you live in the UK as well, it's very warm, it's very hot, it's been hot for like days now. Lack of sleep, lack of energy, taking absolutely the biscuit. But you know what we're here for, is to do the Ting and not to share all drama and stuff. But I'm absolutely tired, but you know what, let's get into it. If you've missed previous episodes of Randy Prizzle's Ting, go into the page Randy Prizzle and check out all the previous episodes. If you're also feeling them and feeling this episode, you know what to do below, all of that. Anyways, let's get straight into it. Jen, I'll fall for you if you love dogs. Bonus points if you're also a Potterhead. I've always said a pothead. I mean, like, well, you know what? I don't usually dib and dab too much in the pot, but you know, so obviously digging grass and putting weeds in, Potterhead. I'm not really much of that, but you know, dogs. It depends. I mean, if they're really big dogs, can scare me. Do you know what I mean? I don't really like dogs that are too big because they can tend to jump on me, and then they can tend to lick the crap out of me, and then you know, walk all over me and that. I don't want to have a big dog on my back, and that's a problem there. If you do have big dogs, it's very hard to control them. They would control you, and that's just how it is, and that's where I wouldn't want to deal with any big dogs. So, but anyways, let's get into more what she's saying. She's 30, she's 5'6", she's a social worker. The key to her heart is laughter and living in the moment. That's good, you know. I mean, always like to laugh, you know, and live in the moment sometimes, you know, try to do what I can do in terms of playing football and, you know, just living and life and all that, and that's what it's all about. So, you know what I mean, that's the greatest things to be about. Sorry, someone talking in the background that's making noise, but yeah, you never can have moments of peace there, can you? But it is what it is. Next thing she says, we're the same type of weird if long menus stress you out, aka the Cheesecake Factory. Yeah, I think if you have long menus, it tends to take you long to figure out what you want to eat that's on the list. Do you know what I mean? Because you can't be decisive. Because you're seeing a lot of the menus and you're like, oh, I'd like to try that. Oh, I'd like to try that. Oh, I'd like to try that. And it takes you, probably, you came in with a set idea, but then when you've seen the menu, and in your mind you're thinking, oh, I'd love to try that. Oh, I'd like to try that. Oh, I'd like to try that. Literally, that then takes you completely off course and then adds more time for you than you need to do to be checking out the menu. So that's always a problem when there's a big menu. I do find as well. That's also a big problem as I am a foodie too. So you know what I mean? When obviously I went last time, I think just about a couple of days ago, I went to my locals, well, I won't call it local, it's kind of central London. I went obviously to TGI Fridays, and then obviously TGI's have got a big menu, they've got quite a lot of stuff. At first I couldn't really decide, but then I saw something that was new on the menu. I said, alright, I haven't tried this one before, and it's new, so I'm going to give that one a try, which was the flatbread. Now, I'm not going to go into that and talk about the flatbread and all that. That's probably for the podcast, so the Clarepoint podcast, it's not, you know. But in general, it was what it was, and that's the thing. When it's a long menu, it could tend to frustrate, and you could take a lot more of your time. But anyways, let's get on to more of what she's saying, which is nothing much more. So it's just a picture of her and her dogs. Apart from all that, she seems like a cool girl, but she just doesn't have that je ne sais quoi for me, especially during this heat as well. So it's going to be a no for me. We come to Eleth. I think I've come across this girl before, I remember, so we're just going to miss that one. Stacey, would get along if you find it easier to laugh at yourself. Well, I don't know if I like laughing at myself. I mean, sometimes I can see the funny side of certain things I do. I don't really tend to laugh too much at myself because it's a bit weird if you do most of the time. But I don't mind people who are a bit weird, do you know what I mean? Not saying anything wrong with that, but I think laughing at yourself can be a bit weird at times. That's just my point of view. But at times, obviously, you could appreciate that sometimes you could be quite hilarious to other people. But I think if you're just like laughing at yourself, there's something wrong. You probably need to get checked into a mental hospital or something like that. But anyways, let's move on to more what she's saying. She's 33, she's 5'3", she's a consultant. She's loving, sorry, let me repeat that. If loving this is wrong, I don't want to be right. I have a soft spot for So Bad They're Good movies. I'm looking forward to seeing Can Cats. Well, I don't really like So Bad They're Good movies. If they're bad, they're just bad. Do you know what I mean? And they're not worth my time. You know what I mean? So, I do obviously like to go to the cinema and watch a lot of films. But if I watch a bad movie, like the one movie I can remember that was bad, that I actually walked out of the cinema for the first time, was Blade Runner. And that was Blade Runner, the new one, 2022 or whatever the name was. It was bad. I had to walk out of that one. And I thought to myself, I will not again go to the cinema and watch that crappy film. It's absolutely awful, all sorts of crap. I would not say a curse word, but obviously because YouTube, they will lock me off and stuff like that, so I can't say that. So, do you know what I mean? But yeah, let's move on to more what she's saying. The best way to ask me out is to be clear and direct and asking me out. Well, yeah, let's go up to her and say, hey miss, I'd like to take you out sometime. What do you think? It's the tactic that sometimes could work, but some girls would prefer you to spit a bit of game. And if you spit a bit of game, sometimes I don't really have much game, I just like to be honest with people. You know what I mean? They like for you to crack jokes or maybe say something along the lines that could piss them off, but at the same time find you intriguing. This is a weird thing some people do, like when you piss them off and then, you know, you get them interested in you for some weird reasons. Like you throwing digs or insults, but they like the fact that you're paying attention to them. It's weird how that works, but some of them like it like that. I'm not saying all, some of them, but that's just what it is, I guess. But yeah. But apart from all that, Stacey, unfortunately, she just doesn't have that je ne sais quoi for me, so it's going to be a no from me. Come to Sarah. Sarah's 34, she's 4'11", she's a consultant. And that's all it says, doesn't have anything much. So I can't really, there's nothing for me to much go on, so for Sarah, it's going to be a nil point, so that's a no for me. Come to Falashade. Falashade says, I'm looking for someone funny, outgoing, family orientated, and an empathizer. Someone who openly advocates for equality and who accepts a forehead kiss as a PDA. I don't really know about the forehead kissing thing. I mean, someone's never done that to me before. I never really had something like that. So it'd be a bit weird if someone kissed me in the forehead. It's like, you know, it's like a mum kissing a baby, kissing, you know, a young boy or something. It's a bit weird there, but, you know, it is what it is, I guess. So, you know. But yeah, you know, you got to look for something funny, you know, outgoing. Yeah, I mean, I like someone who's a bit adventurous, gets out there as much, and obviously, you know, orientated for family and that. So yeah, I guess she's kind of right up my alley so far, but let's see more what she's saying. She's 31, she's 5'6", she's a partnership director. Says, most spontaneous thing she's done, she impulsively flew to Johannesburg for a New Year's Eve party. In her defense, it was Afropunk and Anderson .Paak was headlining. Oh, that's cool, I guess, you know, to just instinctively fly out and just, you know, go and enjoy yourself. I guess when you have the money, you do that, I guess. Obviously, I'm not blessed like that, so I can't really do that. So, but that's nice that you can just spontaneously decide, yeah, you know, I want to get away. And Anderson .Paak is playing. I don't know too much about him. I only know that song. Get me down! Show you how to get down! In the dark, when the picket at the front door. I don't know how the words go, but yeah, I'm just gonna say something like that. So yeah, but yeah, that's the only song I know of Anderson .Paak. So yeah, I mean, good on her to get out there and see the world, I guess. But let's get on to a few more. I'll brag about you to my friends if you join me for Sunday runs. No. Challenge me at Scramble. I can do that. I'm quite decent at games, so you know. Games is more right on my alley, so I can try and challenge you at that. Surprise me with random but funny anecdotes, and you're genuine with your affection. I mean, yeah, I mean, I could surprise you with funny stuff, I guess, I'm quite weird and a bit random at times, so, I do say things that are a bit, yeah, OTT as some people call it, but, it's just generally who Randy Prizzle is, I guess, so, yeah, talking to myself in the third person, but just ignore that part, but yeah, genuine with my affection. Obviously, if I'm feeling you, you'll know it. You know what I mean? I don't really tend to hide how I'm feeling towards people. I guess some people like to hide how they feel towards me most of the time, which is a bit weird. But, it is what it is. But yeah, apart from all that, for La Shade, unfortunately, she just doesn't have that je ne sais quoi for me, so it's going to be a no for me. Come to obviously the last one. I'd say maybe we'll see how it goes. We might do one more after this. Vaishnavi, I'm just going to say that's what her name is. Vaishnavi, give me travel tips for Africa, she says. I mean, obviously my parents are from Sierra Leone. I can't give you travel tips on all of Africa because I've not been to every part of Africa. The only parts of Africa I've been to is Sierra Leone, so I can't really guide you or tell you what's the best route or best places to go in Africa. But Sierra Leone is nice. That's all I got to say there. So yeah, we'll move on to more. She's 28, she's 5'5", she's an analyst. She's overly competitive about Harry Potter trivia. Harry Potter sucks for me. Do you know what I mean? Generally, okay, yes, the movies are alright, but they're not better than Lord of the Rings. Someone tried to say to me that Harry Potter is better than Lord of the Rings. I said, are you smoking something? Literally, what are you on? How can you say that schoolboy with some scar on his face who holds a wand is better than an epic tale of mid-adventures journeys when someone is just trying to destroy a ring made from evilness? How is that better than the epic journeys you get from Lord of the Rings? And not just that, you haven't got just one, you got The Hobbit too. Do you know what I mean? They're all intertwined and become one great epic adventure. You're saying some kid in a school who's got a scar on his head, didn't even know he was like a wizard, finds out he's a wizard, and then you're saying this is better than the adventures in New Zealand and somewhere wherever they shot the location. No, absolutely not. Take that all back, shove it in your pipe hole. But anyways, let's get on to more of what she's saying. Unusual skills, clicking my toes non-stop. That could be irritating. I'd eventually find that irritating and I'll tell you to stop, because I wouldn't want any part of that anymore. And I can't go for that. No, can do. I can't go for that. Can't go for that. Can't go for that. I'm gonna love that. Okay, that's what I'm supposed to tell my friends. If they ask me how I'm doing, I'm supposed to pretend I'm wrong when they blatantly is. Turn the other cheek when you're taking that's not other man in the house. That's I got defend my territory, gone back when there's no way doing dodgy things behind your back. Put my thumb down, stop my grind and that, and it's got to stop with the guy bun. Or not, yeah, now we've lost the plot with the hair and the act right. Can't even that try, can't even that say that's so lame. 30-something years old, he should be insane. So I was in my tip of veins in the main, Luke was bored, similar to my art is drained, don't sign, then got to do it again. I'm gonna stop now, getting carried away. Yeah, I do like that Plan B song. That's Plan B, by the way, Mama. Some people have known that, but that's Plan B. Don't worry, yeah. Anyways, apart from all that, I'm not really feeling that, so it's gonna be a no for me. No, there's no going there. Anyways, let's move on to the next one. Avril, she said, felt cute, might delete later. I'll introduce you to my family if you can make me talk non-stop. I mean, I don't want you to keep talking, that's the thing. I'd rather you to talk when it's interesting rather than you just talk for the sake of talking. If you just want to talk just to talk and just to waffle on and say all sorts of, you could say garbage and hot air, then I'm not really interested in that. But let's see what more she's saying. She's 28, she's a woman, she's 5'8". Guess where this photo was taken? It's obviously her. I think it's some studio somewhere getting her hair done. She goes crazy for music. I mean, I like a bit of music, as I said, 80s, 90s, a bit of 70s as well. You could say stuff in very few stuff in the charts. Not predominantly, very very tiny. Big fan of the Disclosures, like them. You know what I mean? But as I said, the 2000s music, the hip hop, R&B, You could say drum, bass, garage, grime, jungle, all of that's right on my alley, you know what I mean? Some house music as well, so yeah. Boy, my nose is sweating. I told you it's so hot that literally everywhere starts to sweat. That's, you know, a bad thing, you know what I mean? Very uncomfortable when you're sweating profusely. It's annoying. But anyway, let's get on to a few more what she's saying. My greatest strength, contentment. So blissful. Well, that's good, and she's content. Do you know what I mean? She's happy where she is and things make her content. That's nice. Do you know what I mean? She's not a girl you can say that's after too much, you know, too little. So cool. But yeah, apart from that, she seems like a cool girl, but she's just a bit too tall for me as well. You know, I don't. She, again, doesn't really have that je ne sais quoi for me. So it's going to be a no for me. So apart from all that, that's it. It's call time from the Lincoln Ting. So I'd obviously like to thank you guys for tuning into this episode. Obviously, you know what you do, so you know what you need to do if you're feeling this episode. I don't know why I said that. That's some weird thing. As I said, lack of sleep, the heat as well is all bothering me. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm sounding a lot more husky, like a husky dog, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, in the end, it doesn't really matter. But anyways, yeah. So, if you're feeling this episode, or you're feeling any of the past episodes, you know what to do, all of that below. Subscribe to Randy Prizzle, and get me on that road, I guess, to 50 subscribers. That's 50 people. You know what I mean? So big up to all the 15 people that are there. Get me on the road to 50. Let's try and get there and then see what else can happen. So we can try and move. Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way. Move. Get out the way. Get out. Anyway, that's not the end. So let's end this now and wrap this up. So if you've seen all the previous episodes, you know what to do. Go on the channel. Check them all out. Like, share, all of that to your friends. Tell them all about Randy Prizzle as well, and what a fool he is. Thank you. Good on you for doing that. So yes, my words, it's not coming out at the moment in time. That's why I'm stalling. But yes, thank you guys, and you know what we usually do when we finish here. Link out, do 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 do. Link out, do 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 do. Oh, link out.